Good afternoon. To start our presentation, first I will discuss our first two IQs under RQ1. Our RQ1 focuses on the causes of employment struggles among fresh graduate engineering students. So, our interview question one, three main categories emerge from our existing data and overall contributing to one major theme. This is the other category. Unfortunately, it did not fit in one page, so we had to put it in another page. So, interview question two, same with IQ1, three main categories emerge, and overall contributing to one major theme.
Now going on to our second research question. This research question aims to identify the specific challenges and the situations that was faced by fresh engineering graduates when they're seeking and securing employment in engineering firms. And for our interview question number 3, this is the categories that we've identified, and it all contributes to the formation of our major theme, challenges in securing engineering employment. And proceeding into our next interview question. Interview question number 4. Based on the participants' excerpt, we've identified the goals and categories of all these to the formation of our major theme, which is the interrelated factors in the fresh graduates entering into the engineering workforce.
Interview question number 5. What situation may be harder for you to secure employment as a fresh engineering graduate? This interview question is aim to understand what specific situation for fresh engineering graduate. Interview question 6. What strategies or approaches do you use to understand difficulties of finding employment after graduation? This interview question is
interview question 7. The question is, how do you prepare yourself to increase the chances of being hired in the engineering field? In summary, this strategy shows that employability is not only about technical skills but also about their mindset and preparation and for the job readiness. For interview question 8, what support system or resources help you deal with employment struggles? In summary, this support system helps the graduates to stay motivated and improve their job readiness and navigate the competitive labor market with more direction.
Okay, to start our summary of findings for research question 1, the perceived causes of employment struggles for fresh graduate engineering students. So basically, in layman's terms, what the data talks about here is that the causes of employment struggles doesn't just come from the lack of skills or skills gap, but also from the personal preparation of the student.
For the summary of findings for the research question 2, which focuses on the challenges that the fresh graduates face. The data revealed that it was mainly a lack of work experience, and also a common theme within the participants' answers was the professional expectations, wherein the industry expectations, like wanting experience, like the lack of experience there.
So for our summary of findings in research question number 2, the study is fresh graduate engineering students employed to overcome or manage employment-related difficulties. This study found that fresh graduate engineering students use several ways or several strategies to manage the employment challenges. Many of them is improving their skills through certifications and training, while others rely on mentors or personal connections or partners. They stay persistent, adaptable, and keep learning from, but some students, they continued their studies to become more qualified. Overall, they showed effort and resilience in overcoming employment difficulties.
Now proceeding to our conclusions. Based on the summary findings, the following conclusions were drawn to answer the study's research questions. Now for our first research questions. The findings of our study found that the main cause of employment struggles among fresh engineering graduate students is the mismatch between the academic training that they learned from their school years and the industry expectations or the industry jobs. While graduates have strong theoretical knowledge that they learned during their academic school year, they often lack real-world experience or practical knowledge and the soft skills that employers are actually looking for. Now, this finding aligns with the study of Corbin, who noted that companies prefer experienced workers, as well as Baidea and Naja, 2017, and This Is Today, 2024, who highlighted poor communication, low confidence, and limited hands-on experience, or in other words, soft skills are the key issues.
Now, for our conclusion for our research question, since our study showed that the main challenges that they face are the lack of practical experience and soft skills, that means this supports the study of De Langen, published in 2023, that graduates struggle to match their abilities with what the workplace requires. And then LBU Batangas and Vasquez Cuesta et al. Both speak of some sort of underemployment, which can also be supported by our study. One of the answers of or an answer among the participants was that as a graduate of mechanical engineering, they weren't able to get a job first in mechanical engineering.
For our conclusion, this study found that fresh graduate engineering graduates adopt proactive strategies to overcome employment challenges. We support Frontiers in Innovation 2025, which highlighted that internships enhance teamwork and problem-solving skills for better job readiness. Likewise, HRMARS 2024 and the ICFOM Singapore Conference 2025 emphasize that practical training, communication, and leadership improve employability.
And for our recommendations, our main target of fresh engineering graduates, we encourage them to actively join in experiential activities or learnings like internships, industry projects, and also we encourage them to join or participate in early goal setting, early goal planning, and early career planning as well, and as well as building connections to open new job opportunities.
For innovation institutions, we suggest that schools should align their curriculum with the evolving standards of the job market by strengthening collaboration with industry partners to ensure that the student help them to and this includes integrating project-based learning, workplace communication workshop, and partnership with professionals to connect theory with the real-world practices. And institutions must also regularly assess and adapt their programs to match the current industry needs to ensure that
Sorry to interrupt you, but it's time's up. Thank you so much. Now, let's proceed to the question and answer. Before that, let me introduce myself. My name is Sarah, and this is Miss EJ. We're both in the image engineering. So let's start. Now, let me just ask first, Kabanina, can you give, do not flip the question, the slide rather. My question
major theme from our RT1 under interview question 1 is the, if I remember correctly, the employment challenges faced by fresh engineering graduates.
Okay. How does that answer your RQ1?
So our RT1, which focuses on this process of employment struggles. So our major theme is are derived from the answers of our participants that talks about or that talk about their challenges, the challenges they face, and which directly answers our RQ1, which again, what are the causes of employment struggles? So yeah, our major theme, the challenges or employment challenges among fresh graduate engineering students, answers are RQ1 through the participants, the answers of our participants.
These are the factors, right, that they face.
Yes.
I can still remember it all. Okay, another.
This is not exactly the major thing, but as I remember, this strategic support mechanism to enhance the for interview question 8 about the
RQ1 tayo. Give one theme, major theme from your RQ1.
as I remember, it's about the barriers.
Go.
For that
Barriers.
barriers of the employability in the engineering field. It connects with the research question because the codes in the table, it says that based on the major thing, it says the barriers in the engineering field. So basically, they lack of experience and credibility like diplomas or licenses.
Now, my next question is, Gonzalez, what do you think is the difference between your IQ1 and 2? They look the same. Your first IQ is the factors that contribute to the employment struggles. The IQ2 is describe the main reasons that make it difficult. Don't they look the same? Why did you separate the two?
I guess the factors are what affects the challenges, the issues, like maybe it's their lack of experience. That's what affects the issues, like when they're searching for applications. However, the main issue is what happened exactly in them, like factors what affects the main issues. Main issues is what happened, like they're searching for employment, and the factors is what affects what are the factors that affects that problems in searching.
Now I can ask you the difference. What's the clear difference between the two questions, IQ1 and IQ2? Palikutan.
The difference of IQ1 and IQ2 is
Kasi your major theme in number 1 is employment challenges, and then the second one is barriers to employability. Quite different. Just like with the discussion of what's your name now, the Hilog earlier, she was discussing about the major theme 2, and then yung
not entirely different, but yun, IQ1 talk or seeks the factors from our participants, and IQ2 is like an extension of those factors. Why it makes them difficult, or what makes it difficult for them to find the job.
They're just the same, anak. Why did you extend? Shouldn't it be a follow-up question? Why do you have to separate them into interview questions?
Well, it was also part of our lesson that we can only ask one question at 8 times. So sorry. Our research advisor also suggested that we separate
Anak,
the
do not
question.
name drop. You should know it as a researcher. Go on.
Wait, where were we?
Your formulation of research question. I know that enough. You cannot use double barrel questions. And my question is, the formulation of the questions are just the same. Unless, when we talk about IQ1, it's more of the personal factor, while the IQ2 is the external factor. Is that what you mean?
I did not know that at that. But that is what that's partially what
Because your codes are just the same. Lack of experience, proof of intelligence, they're mixed up. Unless, if you are pertaining to IQ1 as the internal factor, which is directly towards your participant, and IQ2 are external factors, which are from the employers themselves. Aren't they? But you have done this already. Any? And it doesn't make it from your RQ1. I'll give one team from your RQ2.
Major teams.
Ooh, challenges. The challenge is first guy is personally experienced and perceived loss. Ano sa mga sila chapter? Ay, chapter. RQ, challenges, security, and then can you justify your answer? You are seen again in your RQ2. It's just the same with your RQ1. How can you differentiate? Justify your paper. This is your paper.
differentiate RD1 from RD2.
Yes, your themes. They're just the same. They all talk about challenges.
RQ1 mainly talks about their personal experience, and it can sound like their challenges as well, because that is their experiences. But in RQ1, our goal is to understand their experience in facing those problems.
And that's why the problem with your question. Because everything is just the same. So, IQ3, what specific challenges do you encounter when applying? Isn't it the same with your IQ? What factors do you believe to contribute to and then, didn't you wonder that too? That while you're coding, you're all discussing about challenges, not about their personal experience.
Didn't realize that.
RQ1 from RQ3 and class 1. One team from RQ3. But if you can justify the differences of the three challenges that you have, then katulad nung earlier, they can justify their codes and their explanations are good. Mali lang yung codes nila, but their explanations are good. Yes, Tabula, RQ3. Please repeat. 5, 4, 3. Same as ano magkalas. Miss EJ, please go.
Okay. Huh. Looking at your recommendation, I am actually pleased with how you get the recommendation. But at some points, there are some that I would like to clarify or specify. First, fresh graduate engineering students. Your participants are from here.
No, Miss,
From where?
Quezon City.
From Quezon City, so Irvine.
Yes.
Right, okay. My question is, do you have any recommendation for students who graduated in provinces or in a more rural area? Did you include?
No, it's not part of our school. Our scope is only in the Quezon City part of area.
And you would not like to?
Well, we can if we had more time, yes, but up what we call this?
For future research,
For future
would you like to
research
recommend
service.
it?
Oh yes, we would like to recommend that.
Okay. Next question. Actually, I like how you wrote you have written rather your recommendation. Medyo naka-align sila. So, good job sa inyo for that. Another is, yung inyong, nabanggit na dito yung sa future researchers, meron dapat silang long-term career outcomes of engineering graduates to assess the effectiveness. Do you have a proposed metrics? How could we measure the effectiveness of or the success of engineering in terms of job employment? May mapopropose ba kayo metrics? How are we going to say that, oh, okay, it was a success, job employment, or if fresh graduates in engineering field is success?
What do you mean is by supposed metrics?
This is a future researcher, we want them to look at the other lens, di ba?
Yes.
So, meron ba kayong mapopropose sa kanila na specific metrics? Paano nila masasabi na it was a success?
I don't think we have.
As of this?
I don't think we have that.
Okay. They will continue with the education institutions, particularly with curriculum development. But I would like to ask, what about the faculty, engineering professors? Do you have any recommendation for engineering professors? Yes, Ricky.
For the engineering professors, just to part of the recommendations also is for the educational institutions to partner with industry to correctly align to the present and what I think engineering professors can do is to utilize that to connect with the industry partners and then learn from the industry partners what they need so that they can teach those values or requirements needed to students.
Taguna. Okay, so you mentioned in the engineering that they have to enhance, they must be engaged to internships, cooperative but what about their, would you also include a recommendation about how to undergo a job processing experience? Like, experiences, their technical skills, right? As well as their soft skills such as communication, teamwork, and leadership. This is already inside the are these skills that you must have. But what about the process of looking for a job? Do you think you could also recommend them undergoing training of job hiring?
Yes.
Why?
To ensure that applicant is
Palibot lang. Do you think we could also include a seminar or training for our fresh graduates in terms of the hiring process? Kasi naman, pinaangkot na ng magkakagawa niya. Pero dapat ito eh, when they're already in the field, for them to be able to thrive in the field, they must execute these skills, engineering students. Skills that we need for a job hiring needed as well. Hindi meron kayo dito na kaya lang evidence of how to do it.
Did you read your paper? If you read your paper, even though it's not assigned to you, therefore you can answer the question. Okay? But actually, I'm impressed with your codings. Your codings are actually good. Your explanation and comments. Okay? But I'm just looking for the explanation wherein you can defend your answer. What happened? Why can't you defend your answer? You did that. There's nothing wrong with the manuscript. You didn't even know the flow of your paper. This is defense. You have to defend it. Okay? You can do that. You can be more defensive. On your PR too. Okay, congratulations everyone. And that's all.